Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Coil Quickcard, and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You know what? Let's finish Chapter 5, shall we?
We made it to morning.
I don't know if that's going to take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? I don't have a clue. But I am not stopping this episode until Chapter 5 is at an end. I must advance the story. I cannot wait. Wait, why am I Lance? No, I wanted to be Noah for now.
Do exactly as I say. All under control.
There we go. I am so over-leveled at this point. I don't think it's going to be much of a challenge, per se. But, you know, I didn't play this game for the challenge. I played Elden Ring for the challenge. I play this for the narrative. If I really want the challenge, then I can always start a new game and try to do it with as little side questing and low level as possible. Alright. I have infiltrated the prison. I'll be honest, I'm surprised to see that many soldiers here.
Good morning, you snuffing reprobates! Beautiful morning today. If only I could appreciate it. Didn't get much sleep. Do you know why?
What?
Because the eclipse draws ever nearer. How many of you are getting made an example of on Hope's Rest this time? I can hardly contain myself thinking about it. Couldn't catch a wink of sleep last night. Me?
Nutty snuffer. He's really enjoying this.
Yet, nonetheless, the show must go on in order to unite our hearts and minds to keep the world in balance and perfect harmony. This will be your final resting place. So why not live a little while you still have some body to enjoy it with?
What the hell is your problem, man?
I'll give him something to enjoy.
What term is he even? It's not like he'll have that much longer than them to live. Ah, bollocks. It's okay. I'm not bothered. I hate people like that. Is this about the right place?
I can't tell from the data we've pulled. We'll have to check each route systematically.
Oh. Hello? Two guards. Probably shouldn't just force our way through, eh? Agreed. Let's look for another place. Running around in the vents above, peering through the vents to see where to drop. Yeah, that's Chrono Trigger vibes right there. This is a warehouse of some kind? According to the schematics, that's what it is. What do you think, Noah? There are no guards, so we should be able to proceed. You're right. Seems safe enough. Let's go down through here. Hold up. Shouldn't we be taking off our eye patches? Far as I can tell, the people being held in here don't have them on. Makes sense? Okay. Want to explore this other path first. Looking good there, Mio. You look nice in that black. Ah, lots of guards. Gotcha. You know, it only now just clicked in my brain that the Blackbird section in Chrono Trigger was my first experience in a video game with a stealth mission. Huh. Okay.
We've made it inside.
Hopefully no one notices our unbelievably different outfits. And hopefully no one actually does a head count. Otherwise they'll very quickly find out that there's over a dozen more people here than there should be. They all look Kavesi to my eyes. So this is being used as a military prison more than just as a general Mobius holding facility. Yeah, they're...
The hell you come here for?
Gondor.
Oh, really?
Is that Gondor?
I asked you a question. Give me an answer, fresh fish.
No, I think it's the little girl squatting on the table.
Huh?
Huh? Cut the crap. Any lights on in there, you dead brain?
Hold on. Is Gondor
Is Gondor a what?
Okay.
Finish your damn sentence.
Starting to think Gondor didn't
Monet.
exactly call
What's
for
wrong
aid.
with you?
Call for aid.
So she's Gondor.
Bitch queen. She must have thought she was being funny.
Whoa.
Oh, so you agree, do you?
I immediately like this person.
Go die in a ditch, you turd.
Yikes. Never thought I'd hear someone top Uni's sweary mouth. Don't you go copying her, Senna. Nah, not my style. Oh, wow. Ways to talk trash about one of your friends.
So, where was I?
Think it was about why they're here.
Oh, right, that. So, what's the idea, sweethearts?
Now she's playing nice?
You're Gondor.
What's it to you?
Monica from the city. She told us about you. She said you'd know where the queens are.
So you are the bitch queen's lapdogs.
Oh.
Please tell us what you know. We have good reason to meet with them. To bring peace and to set the world to rights.
This shit again?
What?
I'm fed up with hearing that sanctimonious ardent crap.
So you aren't gonna help us out then?
If you're trying to kill the now, then you can just forget it.
Kill the now?
Did I bloody stutter? Oh, you just don't get it. Maybe this'll hammer it home. Eggy, Oggy,
Mom?
At your command.
Wait, what the hell?
get this lot of bruising and dump him in the trash.
Mom.
My pleasure.
What is wrong with you? Oh dear God, we've set up a fight club. I am alarmed by how many people are in this prison camp. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be a new hero. And those are definitely fist weapons. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Also, Aggie, you are having a very bad day. Come on. Hit him. Alright, that's one down. Focus on the second. Get him. Neo, can you get back on your feet, please? I'm really curious to see how Gondor fights. All right. So, guess what? Talent time! Not bad. Yeah, I think it's time for one of these. Tyon! Let's introduce her to pain. Ah, you're not quite ready. That's okay. Now you'll be ready. Alright, let's go for the topple. This alone might be enough to take us to overkill. Nope. Close, though. Tyon is reactivated. Lons, let's go and get the attack up. Now we're in overkill. Good work, Tyon. Neo. Take us to the next step of the chain. Those are such weird weapons. What the hell do you even call those?
I've got an idea.
Tyon's back. Senna, we're going to go for your Ouroboros finisher this time. But first, let's get as much of an XP bonus as we can off of this. It's not going to be the best in the world, considering that, you know, Gondor is 20 levels beneath me. But it's going to be pretty good, and plus, we just went over 200%. Yeah, we are nearly 700% damage bonus. Ah. Okay, or we'll end it there.
Huh?
Yeah, this was not a good plan, was it?
I put all my love into that one for ya. You better appreciate it. Wait, it's glowing.
Huh?
Careful. She packs a meaner punch than you think, Noah.
Yeah. No jokes.
Of course she does. She's a pro. That's Monica's daughter for you.
Oh!
Daughter? You mean that she was born from Monica? Like that baby we saw?
That's about the size of it. Plus, the head Ouroboros candidate.
Oh!
That too?
Okay! Now some of Shania's attitude starts to make
Oi,
sense.
what are you prattling on about? You got something to say? Say it to my face.
We do.
Go on then.
Why are we fighting each other? It's so pointless.
Piss off. No, it's not.
Why?
Because you dags haven't figured it out.
About killing the Now.
Yeah.
Then stop holding out and just tell us.
Set the world to rights, you said.
Yeah, I did.
Not sure if you're just being self-righteous, but take a look around. Think about how many lives it's cost. Running after that shit already.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely already taken significant sacrifice, but
All right,
what
that's
if we
enough.
can actually succeed?
On your knees now, all of you. Hands behind your head. Disobey me, you'll get time in solitary.
Change of plan. Sheathe your blades now. Let's just do as he says, okay?
If there is even a single guard who's kind of familiar with who we have here, or, you know, just looks at the fact that some of us are clearly Agnian, I feel like they're going to realize who we are. Or maybe these are all just city folk. Okay, got it. Stay safe on your end, too. Jensen and the others are all in the same cell, it looks like. If they didn't notice us coming in from the outside, I think we can call step 1 of the plan a success. I wonder how we're supposed to get Gondor to work with us. Yeah. The way she said we were trying to kill the Now sounded like she might take some convincing. Yeah? What the Spock does that even mean? I've no idea. But I think I want to ask Gondor about it. Lots to talk about. Talk? Dude, I'm not looking forward to raising a merry ruckus just to get out. That seemed not strictly necessary. What do you mean? You're new around here, eh? If you don't stir yourself, you'll miss grub, you know. They even feed us? Well now, seems we have more freedom than we initially assumed here. Let's look for Gondor.
I see some relations have changed.
Here's a good spot to catch our breath.
Really?
Good to add more names.
Okay, no, these aren't Kavesi. These are actually just city folk. Still, I didn't see any,
I see some relations have changed.
I didn't see a significant population of non-Homs in the, city. So I still think we should be, you know...
Good to add more names.
Obvious. There's Jansen. Gondor's always been that way. Must be tough for poor Aggie and Augie. Lots of soldiers in this prison who I know well. It was devastating not knowing whether they were alive or dead, so it was a huge relief to see that they're still alive. I know the mission here is to rescue Gondor, but I also want to make sure that we can get everyone else home if we can.
Good to add more names.
I see. Ruggy Scruggy. So, are you associated with, Oh no. Why do I have
Good to add more
quests
names.
here? What do you mean I have a quest here? I guess it would be... No, it was like the Lost Stones, wasn't it? Yeah, here it is. Look for them in the camp's perimeter woodland. Perimeter woodland? There's a forest here? They've really pulled the wool over these Agnian guards' eyes. Plenty of my comrades have been telling them that Mobius are pulling the strings, but they won't believe a word of it.
Good to add
So
more
do they
names.
all just think that you're Kavesi troops or something? Huh. Identification devices. Lost numbers locked up in the prison camp were all captured during missions they'd undertaken. They've remained here year after year with hardly a hope of getting out.
Good to add more names.
Fascinating. Wait.
Looks like well traveled by now, huh?
So there's just an entire area here in the camp? I assumed it would be a significantly smaller facility. You'll see Gondor around the central cell block a lot. Just look for two burly dudes hanging around. I'm sure you
Good to
won't
add
miss
more
them.
names.
Interesting. 10 long years I spent in this prison camp. That's a humdinger of a stretch. But it's probably about time they picked me out for the chop. What makes you think that? My age. You don't see many old prisoners in here, do
Good to
you?
add more names.
True, and that would make the Agnian guard suspicious. Look like they have an alright commissary there. Hello. I'm sorry, there's so much on my plate right now, I can't really afford to help you guys out. Sure thing, could you spare us a few tips at least? Yeah, maybe there's a Nopon trader who got mixed up with the gin pop here. If there's anything you need that might be a way to
Good
get
to
a
add more
hold of
names.
it. Is that the one that's in solitary? Gondor. Gondor. We need to talk, Gondor.
I'll tell you what we should all do. Not one frigging thing.
We do nothing.
If we just stay put here, and the city folk keep a low profile, no one has to die for small nuts.
So that's your now.
Penny finally drops.
Aren't they going to
I
execute
see
you next
you.
month?
So, it'll be 10 people if that. They've got over 1,000 locked up in here. It'll barely register.
1,000?
That's not statistics.
I'm saying if you stir shit like what Bitch Queen wants, you'll have 1,000 lives on your conscience. And also, you're gonna set the world to rights? Then what's that there on your arms? On your chests? And then there's the kitten. Little more than a month left. You must be the most eager of the lot.
That's enough.
Huh. Just shut up about the world already. All this holier-than-thou crap. You're only doing it for yourselves. You just fight out of self-pity. Flailing around thinking you can make a difference.
When I see off lives, I do it with purpose.
Mia.
Just one more day, one more minute. You've no idea how many lives we've sent. All the friends we had, wishing they'd had more time. That was each and every day for us. But it was all we could do. It was all we had to believe in. Day in, day out.
You are an Offseer?
And when we finally made it to the city, I realized there was a whole different world out there. They're so lucky. I really thought that. I was astounded. Just by extending our years, life could be so different. I even saw the beginning of a new life. That tiny little hand that was grasping mine. I can understand why you want to protect that. If that's the now you speak of, we'd never kill that. Still, that's why we're trying to protect it for you. To save our friends. To build a future that would make us free.
You've got about a month. That enough? For that?
At the rate I'm going?
I don't know.
Absolutely.
My time might be up before our fight is truly over. There's probably not that much I can do.
Mia.
But I've got to try. I'll keep trying while my flame still flickers. And after that...
Yeah, we got you. We'll carry on your will. Right, Noah?
Of course. I don't really want to imagine that. But there's just no running away from it. All we can do is move forward. We have to. That day, Guernica entrusted us with this power. And because of that, we made friends with former enemies. Believe us, your now is safe with us, as is the future.
So, that's your argument.
Come on, Gondor.
What's this?
For the Cloud Keep. Where the real Queen of Agnes has taken her beauty sleep. You'll need that
Cloud
to get
Keep.
in. Kinda like a key. This thing took a liking to... names?
Noah.
Mio. Noah and Mio. I'll remember that. Anyways. The doodad reacted to you two when you teamed up. I think it was probably like telling me to give it to you.
Thank you.
You're helping us now?
Still hate the fact that Bitch Queen sent you. But hey, the what's-name did pick you, so... And I did promise.
Promise?
In 3 days, Agnes will be holding a large-scale training exercise on Daedal Isle.
Okay.
Of course, that means minimal security for us. That'll be our chance to escape.
How, then?
Well, the only way I know how.
Straight through the front?
Am I right, you dad?
Yeah! I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, the proverbial's gonna hit the fan.
Them's the breaks. Take it or leave it.
If they really have over
3
1,000
days.
people locked up in there,
Just do some prison things until then.
and the majority of them
just try to
are
keep in line, would ya?
younger,
We don't want to draw attention.
it's entirely possible that they
Oh,
would be
and
capable of
a quick word of
overpowering and
advice.
escaping.
When all is lost, let him hear you roar. Got that?
Hear us
Oh,
roar.
okay. Strange
All
advice.
that power you wield, that's exactly what it was meant for.
We're done today. Scuttle back to your hole, you rat bastards. If we keep crowding together like this, a nice Mr. Jailer might show up and rattle your empty heads together. No worries, we'll clear out. Ah, before you go, just one more word to the wise. If you're gonna pretend to be model prisoners, you better put some effort into the jobs the guards give you. What kinds of jobs are they? It's different depending on the day. Anyway, come here again in the morning. We'll be here. We have to wake up early. Looks that way, sweetie. Noah, would be good idea to sleep early today. Early to sleeping, early to waking. Right. Interesting. Hello. Gondor, you are just an incredibly pleasant person, aren't you? So, I don't have any way to access that area. You don't sell anything. So, I guess it really is just go to bed and advance the story.
Let's make the most of our break, guys.
Oh, I forgot to check on something. Last time I rediscovered that I could just flip ahead and craft higher level gems than just the next one on the list. But I'd forgotten to check if that automatically gave me a copy of the lower level gem.
Mimi? Noah? You're also incredibly confident.
Who's confident? It's all a big act. I don't know about Noah and Mio. But me, though? I'm pathetic.
Huh?
You are not pathetic at all, Lance.
Tough. To pump myself up like I'm not a wimp.
You think you're a wimp?
Yeah. I'm a lot like you.
Huh?
But look, what's wrong with that anyway? If we're weak, there's room to grow. Right?
I love
the
how...
first time you became Ouroboros, you yelled, Lance, come with me, huh? You reached out for the strength you needed.
Oh.
Aww.
Our friend Yorn, he became Mobius. But that wasn't him. That's his life's purpose? Like Spark it is.
You look good in that outfit.
Maybe I want to figure out the purpose of my own life. I want to get stronger. And if Yorn surpassed me, I'll get even stronger than that.
Oh, wow.
I won't be doing it for the recognition, nor to be liked. I'll do it for myself.
Even if people don't recognize it, right?
We're here. This is us.
Senna,
keep being true to ourselves.
I once again demand to know if your hair actually puts out heat. I must touch your hair and see if it's hot or not.
Never stop being you, okay? Recognizing your own purpose. Huh. You mind if I pinch that mindset?
What you talking about? Friends don't need to ask.
Huh?
Huh? Here's to us, the mighty weaklings.
Yeah.
Aww. That's really sweet. Is everyone ready? Oh yeah! Gondor told us to go to the central cell block. It's about the same time now as when we infiltrated the prison. What if that foul-mouthed jailer's there? He'll no doubt be at the morning gathering. Okay then, shall we go, my fellow model prisoners? Good luck at hard labor, everyone. I hope we get off lightly. What legitimately could they even realistically have us doing as far as labor goes? Is there anything useful we could actually be doing? No one wants to live trapped in this cesspit, slaving the rest of their lives away. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Come on, Anton, what do you have to say? Things gotten livelier since Gondor arrived. I'll bet they freaking have.
Patience is golden.
Rather foul one she is, isn't she? I like her. Good morning, prisoners. How are you this fine morning? It's a good day to show gratitude to your jailers. We let you keep your criminal lives. Least you can do is work till you die. Them what don't work, don't eat. And so, without further ado, here's your work details for today. Today's food gathering duty is in the perimeter woodland. You're to team up based on your assigned cell. First, gather 20 each of carnamiles, gold burdocks, peafy truffles, and honey plums. That is all. That's it? You want me to go grab 80 pieces of fruit? Okay. Whew, sounds like another breezy one today. Oh, for sure. Might even be able to sneak in a naparoo, don't you think? Blech, seems plenty rough to me. Same. I don't even want to think what a hard day's work looks like here. Something wrong, Tyon? Those foodstuffs that the guard named. It's the exact same food that the castle distributes to us. Oh. Hey, does that mean the food our colonies receive? It's all picked here? It would be the natural conclusion. So they're using the lost numbers as free labor. We are now opening the gate to the perimeter woodland. Okay, so I guess there's a whole zone out there. And no funny business, you hear me? Anyone acts suspicious, they get taken out. End of. We're supposed to keep our heads down until we can execute the plan. Let's just head for the woodland. Standard quest, first day of prison?
Good to add more names.
Oh no. How many days of prison am I going to have to deal with?
Or did the guard back there say first?
There might be more to this job than we bargained for. I think we're in for a rough day.
Okay. No interlinking. Ooh, ether channel. Yes.
Never go wrong with some ether.
Thank you. This looks simple enough. Just run around and grab the things. I'll be shocked if this perimeter woodland is that big. I mean, surely it can't be that much. I mean, this is still a prison, right?
Oh, that's a rare one.
We've got level 40 creatures running
Something
around.
fell from its wings.
Don't mind me. Okay, I need to... Yeah, need to zoom out the camera a bit. Hello, little fishy. And somewhere out here are some lost stones, right? Lost all 3 of his stones. Okay.
Queen's heels, am I sick of all this gathering?
Seriously?
How
Good
about
thing
we
we found
inquire
this.
about our new digs along the way?
Quite a rare sight.
Do you seriously have a quest? Do I have prison side quests? Is this what prison work's always like? Yeah, man, some days it's picking food. Some days instead of picking food, it's mining for resources. Either way, a full day's hard labor. You haven't picked your share of that yet, right? Here, have this. Are you sure? We don't want you too tired when the breakout happens, yeah? Thanks. This'll definitely
Everyone's
help.
doing the
Really?
same work, but they're
Eight
still happy to
honey
share
plums.
with strangers.
Let's hope we can get them out without a hitch.
Not bad. Maybe declaring that I will absolutely finish Chapter 5 on this episode was, naive. Depending on just how, big this chapter is. I mean, I wasn't expecting that I was going to spend 3 full days doing hard labor in prison. I really thought this was going to be more of a quick in and out mission.
Hey, that's not your everyday jump.
Hello, Corey. Did you guys grow these? Yeah, the soil's decent to begin with, so it wasn't too much of a hassle. But it does piss me off to think they're filling up the guards' stomachs, too. Here, you guys can grab a few. It's the same gold burdocks they had you picking. Thank you so much. Can't quite believe I'll be seeing the back of this place in a few days. Wish I could take the soil with me when I go.
Oh, for the love of Sparks, how can there still be more to do? Unbelievable.
Lads, just
Stop
calm
whining.
down,
Get to it
okay?
already. You're just dragging this out.
It's really not a big deal, I promise you. See, look, we're already doing great. We're getting all these peachy mushrooms. What were you looking at? Just noting the guards' positions. I want to be of use when you're breaking Gondor out of here. Right, okay. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, and it'd serve my purposes to be inconspicuous. Not to be rude, but would you please go work somewhere else? We'll be sure to do that. Oh, hey, wait, take these. Whenever they're prisoners talking, it's just a matter of time before guards show up. We don't want them tugging on our plans now, do we? So go. Okay. Really? You have an elite enemy here. In the prison. I guess the entire prison really serves as a, is really just a big old courtyard, I guess. It's a surprisingly sized, facility. Luckily, I don't have to fight anything. Sugu! So, we've got Ouroboros pitching in to help the Elder's daughter escape. Never would have thought it. It's a real surprise to see Ouroboros that skipped out on the candidacy thing, too. Didn't know that was possible. Yep, seems we got all kinds of things started happening since we got locked up in here.
There's so much you can gather around here. To think this is how they keep the colonies fed. I honestly don't know how to feel.
I mean, you should probably feel that it's not cool. That's how I feel about it. Have you lived here long? Not as long as I spent fighting before. I heard you lot are planning to escape. Guess you'll be going back into battle? That's kind of impressive. Why? I haven't been here too long, but long enough to work out one thing. I was tired of having to fight for my life. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to keep you. It's just nice to have someone to talk to. And then you give me some thanks.
Let's get this report done.
Doing this day after day would definitely get old.
Honestly, this level of labor seems manageable, at least. This whole thing is still royally fucked up, though. Definitely don't want to pretend that it's not. Ooh. Oh, nope. Gate's closed. Okay. So, is it just going to sequentially allow me to go further and further out of the perimeter areas? Maybe there's mining or something in there. And then there's yet another gated facility there. Interesting.
I'll claim the ether here.
That is a lot of ether. Then I have a quest marker right here.
Smarts.
Alright, there's the Nopon stone. I'm just gonna take all of them. Yeah, why wouldn't I just take all of them? Whoops. Alright, that should be all for my gathering today. I'm interested to see how the rest of this chapter plays out. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Let's go someplace else. Huh? Is that?
No, it's just a random enemy, okay? You don't have to be excited over random lucky or elite enemies when we're inside a freaking prison. Okay? Can I go talk to that Nopon? Nope. Gonna have to turn in my fruit first. We've collected our quota. Let me be the judge of that. Alright then, here's the list for the next batch. What? We worked our arses off and now you want more? You got a problem with that? Feel free to die if you prefer. We're keeping you alive out of the goodness of our bleeding hearts. You want to stay that way? You work. What did you just... Hey, we need to lay low until, you know. Right, that'll do it. Work's over for today. Back to your cells, you animals. Oh, okay, it didn't actually... I I guess the list for the next things to bring him were, like, cups on a table or something. Ugh, I stink of dirt. We gotta stay patient. Just 2 more days. It's inconceivable. All the people here have to work like this every day? They're being seen as expendable labor. I imagine the overseers don't even consider them human. We need to keep our strength up for tomorrow. Time to call it a night. Yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe, but I have a no-pawn to talk to first. Okay, no, don't need the quest route.
Tyon, are you feeling unwell? Should we head back to the cell and let you rest up for a bit?
Alright. I have brought you your rocks. Yes. Not bad. Alright. Will you trade me anything now?
What to buy?
Ah, we told him the no-pawn's needs are many. Ignore Blowdown and launch by somersaulting. Okay. Extends duration when quelling enemy rage with burst by 50%. Burst gets rid of rage? Really? Interesting. Alright. Let's go for it. Day number 2. Good morning. Everything's ready. Then let's get to the central cell block. Let's all give our best to the old penal colony again today, mateys. That Gondor certainly enjoys skiving off, considering how insistent she was we keep our heads down. Actually, if I recall correctly, she said to pretend to be model prisoners. Whatever we do, we have 1 more day of it. So, what are you going to make us do today?
Ugh, morning assembly already. I'm afraid I'm gonna start snoring while standing up.
You've got to pay attention or they're gonna get real mad.
Okay. Aggie, what do you have to say about Gondor? Not much of any actual value. So what is today's mission? The job today is culling the Ferris population living in the perimeter woodland. Anyone who kills a Ferris will be excused from other duties for the rest of the day. Make sure to bring proof when reporting in. Not just any Ferris, though. The idea is to eradicate the ones that are going berserk. Well, that's much more like it. No more digging in the dirt like yesterday. The Ferrises are reported to have mauled a large number of people yesterday. Have fun out there! Why don't you use your Levnesses? It'll make quick work of them. Any units assigned here are being prepared for the war games tomorrow. Even if they weren't, why bother wheeling about the big guns for something this trivial? Especially when we've got you lot. Now get out there, the day's a-wasting. Anyone found disobeying orders will be terminated on sight. Sounds pretty gleeful about that, don't you think? Gleeful's the word, yeah. All he's gonna have to do is sit back and enjoy the show while we're out there fighting crazed Ferrises. I cannot understand how one can derive any pleasure from such a cruel pastime. Still, we ought to move out. Alright, day 2. murder Ferrises.
Snuff those guards treating us like dirt. Who do they think we are?
Well, I imagine they
I know
think that you're
exactly how you
prisoners.
feel. Still, for the good of the plan, let's hold our peace for now, eh?
Just trying to keep all my information up to date. Look for an enraged
Today's job
Ferris.
is way better than yesterday's. I still can't seem to work up the energy.
If we do this, we're exempt from the other jobs. I think this is our best bet.
Agreed. Just kill an animal. It's no problem.
We have to make sure we don't blow our cover while in combat.
Yep.
Yeah. No interlinking. Got it.
Yeah, really don't think that's gonna be a problem. Hey, Gondor, what's up? Gondor! Huh? Oh, it's you, Dags. Thought I told you to keep a low profile? Go on, get out of here. You won't get rid of us that easily. Suit yourself. Then let's at least make it quick. Not a problem. Oh no, it's a level 47 Ferris. That is genuinely not a threat to me. Boom. Okay. Oh god, are we monster hunting this? Are we just gonna have to chase it? Huh? Oi! Stop right there! Fast legs on that one. Don't sound so impressed. We lost it, huh? We better run after it. What about these folks here? I'm touched by your concern, but they're experienced soldiers, alright? But... come on, you lousy grunts! You gotta keel over from tiny scratches like that? Pathetic! You get up right now, or so help me, I'll tear you limb from limb and feed you to the Ferrises my bloody self! Ugh. Lazy gits, I swear. I'll pile them up somewhere out of the way, then I'll come find you. Go on ahead now, don't waste the head start. As you say.
If we use our irises, we should be able to pick up the trail.
Oh yeah, okay, we're doing tracking, apparently.
The paw prints lead deeper into the woodland.
Come on, let's chase this thing down. Don't want to get in the way.
Yeah. I mean, the woodland isn't exactly a big area. I feel like this isn't going to be especially difficult to find. Okay.
It's more brutal than I thought.
How could they let this thing loose? Whose sick idea was this?
I mean, do you really have to ask? Is it gonna be past the second gate? No, it's just over here. Okay. We caught up with it. Good. Now let's take it out before it hurts anyone else. Round 2! Start with the break. There's the topple, and there's the daze. Not bad. Might as well drop my own damage fields. and talent. So, are you going to run away again, or are you just going to let us actually kill you this time? Nope. Okay, into the shield. Boom, boom, boom. I really don't need to waste the effort for a chain attack here. And boom. Target destroyed. Phew, I took it down somehow. They sure don't mess about with the work detail here. Our duty is accomplished. What now? We should probably go report it, but... Oh, what? You already took it out? But I barely got to go nuts yet. Go nuts. You really have a taste for battle. Oh well, what's done is done. You dags better hop to it and report to the guard. Huh? Are you sure? Sure, I'm sure. You earned it, didn't ya? Anyhow, since there's not a lot of attention on this place now, we'll take a look around and scope things out for tomorrow. Alright, that's how you want to play it.
Guess that wraps up today's work.
So... okay.
Guess that wraps up today's work. Let's go report back.
No other sign of any side quests or interactables in the area. You know what? I don't feel like walking. Let's just make this quick. This is already going to be a very long episode with a lot of things going on. Alright, guard. We've defeated a Ferris that had gone wild. Oh, you have you? Where's the proof? Here you go, the thing's horns. You could have taken that from any old Ferris. Won't count as proof for me. You what? What the ever snuffing sparks? That guy really gets on my wings. Nothing to be done. Let's go back and look for something that'll convince him. More walking? Great. Okay. Sure. Oh, you're done already? Pretty much. More importantly, what are you lot doing out here? Let me explain. Well, sure sounds like that guard gets off on messing with you guys. Take these. Giant Ferris horns. Huh? You give him those, even he'll have to leave you alone. Thanks for that. Okay. I get the feeling that this part of the game is supposed to feel a little tedious, so that I will empathize more with the prison characters. Here, proof we did what we said. Well, I'll be. Looks like you really did take down that Ferris. I'm a man of my word. You're relieved of duties for the rest of today. Sounds like you did well. Thanks for the help, Gondor. Don't even mention it. Besides, I also wanted time to talk about tomorrow. Good point. I do want us to go over the details together. Yeah, what exactly is your plan? And how are we on interlink points right now? Oh dear God, we have a lot of interlink points. Wow. Yeah, I should be paying attention to my soul trees. I can get this one.
You found power.
To reduce the heat from arts canceling. Mio, your tree. So that would be 160.
I got a new trick up my sleeve.
Yeah, I can afford one of these. I think just a longer duration as a flat value is still more beneficial. Uni, we can get
A new power, eh?
both your time and your heat control. And oh, and this one. Make Lightning Arrow unblockable and with knockback. Tyon, your tree is always just kind of weird. That's 200, that's 210.
More to add to the playbook? More to add to the playbook?
There we go. Alright, some more points. No, there's no way I can afford that. Yeah. Lawns! Let's see, what can we do for you? Oh boy, getting your heat ones is a real pain in the butt. Reduces damage taken by allies in a radius. Yeah, it's probably worth moving in that direction. Honestly, that's about all I can do for that one. And finally, Senna. Smash on all enemies. Flame Nova, really?
Whoa, new power.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Whoa,
all right.
New power.
So God, that's such a good attack. Alright. So, back to this. What is our actual plan of attack?
We make our move at 0800, right after outdoor duties start. My men will cause a commotion outside, draw out the guards and jailers. The guards will be armed, so you dags will need to deal with them. Use the element of surprise.
And the jailers?
They're small fry. I'll take care of them.
Okay.
Alright. How many guards?
About 30. Take out 20 or so and we'll be sitting pretty.
Okay.
Then we break straight through the west gate. We'll have you lot covered, so just run for it.
And how do we break through it? It's not like it's made of tissue.
Surely you lot can handle a gate. Why else would the bitch queen even send you?
Absolutely, we
Why
can
do you
handle
keep
a
calling
gate.
Monica that? She's your mother.
I'll call her whatever the hell I like. Anyways, you all got the gist of the plan now.
You call that a plan? There's nothing to get. We don't even have any contingency measures, do we?
I bet you're fun at parties, arsehat.
I prefer level-headed, thank you.
Anyhow, we'll gather in front of Watchtower 1. After breaching the gate, thin out. You run and you don't look back. Clear?
Okay, we'll do that.
Good. You're dismissed.
This is not
Gondor?
a good plan.
Please, just be careful.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Someone who is probably not going to be careful.
You look like you'd make short work of that gate.
Huh? Me?
That wallop of yours on the first day. One hell of a hit. You sure give him a run for their money.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Looks like someone's ready to go.
Shania!
Well, look what the Hawks dragged in.
Nice to see you too, Gondor. I've been here the whole time. You didn't notice?
Oh, I'm sorry. Want a medal?
Arrogant as ever.
Anyway, think you're ready for this?
Who do you think you're talking to?
Oh, touchy. Just don't screw this up.
You're gonna be a problem, aren't you?
You and Shania were friends from the crib. Was that it?
Yeah, since we were kids.
I didn't realize.
Chick didn't know when to stop following me around. Had it up to my ears with her. Heard you bombed the selection test. And not for the first time.
Yeah. I couldn't win. In the last round.
Why'd you use the cestus? You can barely throw a punch, makes no sense.
Because I thought if I used your weapon, I could capture a bit of the Gondor spirit.
You know that name pisses me off. And more excuses, eh? Stop copying me. You're even wearing my gloves now. Right, enough is enough. Nothing to say for yourself. Ugh! Hang on, aloofness! Don't you have any originality? It's no wonder you lost. No wonder you never get picked.
Ouch.
I have my style. She has hers. Why doesn't she get the message? I'm so sick of it.
Hey, now.
Yeah.
They seem confident. Are we okay?
Everything's going to plan. Everything's fine. Everything.
Yeah,
We can't
you're gonna
afford
be
to
a
flood tomorrow's
problem.
mission, huh? I really hope it'll all go to plan.
It has to.
Oh
We'll do
my
everything we
god.
can to make it work.
How can you throw this many dialogue updates into what is ostensibly just a prison breakout scene? Okay. I really get the feeling that that this is going to go very badly.
We could do with some food.
Alright,
A chance to shake off our fatigue.
rest up. Here we go. So today's the day we break out of here, huh? Is everyone ready? Manana take many rests so that can run flashy-dashy. The time that Gondor specified is after the beginning of outdoor work. We should keep our heads down and work until she gives the signal. We'll have to listen to that shite hawk again in the morning assembly. Last time, though. Friends, stay concentrated. Right, time to get everything together for the escape. When we're all sorted, let's go to the central cell block.
The beds here are awful. I barely slept a wink.
Your snoring could have fooled me.
Oh my god, even more updates. Shania, are you gonna be trouble? Here's hoping everything goes according to plan. It's all up to you now. Okay, so is that my plan or something that you are thinking about?
Oh, it's gonna be great. You know it.
Yeah, I really get the feeling that, we are about to get a fair number of people killed. Hey. Come on, Sugu. I think you're last on the list of people I need to talk to. Here's your duty for today. You are to gather beautiful shoots and fluffy cloud ears. Furthermore, the following is an assignment for the prisoners who defeated the Ferris yesterday. You are tasked with culling the Garafas grazing near the perimeter outlet. Wait, just us? Once the Garafas are culled, you are also to cull the Quadwings. Finally, tidy up the food storage area. Once you are done with that, you're on the usual duties with the rest of the prisoners. That's all. You're dismissed. Now get to work. That doesn't bode well. Ugh, Pillock expects us to deal with all that ourselves? We've been such model prisoners, but he's taken the shine to us. We should go too. Yeah. Alright. Quest. Third day of prison.
We go out of here and then to the left. Move.
Check you out. Someone's eager.
Shouldn't
Do we
be
seriously have to keep doing this?
too
We're just
difficult
about ready to blow this joint.
to take
I'm
these
not
things
exactly
out.
fond of it either, but we can't afford to make the guards suspicious.
It's Garafas that we're supposed to be thinning out, right?
I don't want to do
Yep,
this.
Garafas.
You're in our way.
I'm ready.
Shouldn't be too hard. When we do finally drop our Ouroboros on these folks, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Alright, join the fight. You too, come join the fight. Ah! Let's get him. not bad. Everything is going exactly as I had hoped. I am still completely dedicated to my plan. I want to finish Chapter 5 on this episode. I am not going to abandon that goal. Okay, that's one job down. Still no signal, eh? Wonder if something's gone wrong. We can't afford to arouse suspicion before we receive our orders. We'll just have to endure the work, loathsome as it is. Ah, for real now. Alright, quad wings it is. Whoa! Okay, maybe not. That's a hell of a distraction. Holy crap. That is a very significant multiple point of simultaneous attack.
Take out the guards.
Ah, yes, the illustrious plan.
You're still whinging about that.
Yes, I am. It's all so messy.
You would say that. Hey, if it gets the job done, what's the problem?
Like, I'm not sure it will get the job done.
It will. We're gonna make it work. Come on.
Whatever you say.
Alright. Time for the prison break.
Alright. So now we deal with the sentries as planned.
Yeah, we've got to make this plan a success or else.
Next step. Take out the guards. They're just little guards. They shouldn't be any trouble. Ah, I see that we can interlink now. I'm still not entirely sure that it's actually a good idea for us to do that, though. I kind of feel like the moment they know that there's Ouroboros in the prison camp, there's going to be a far more significant defensive force sent in. Right, let's go.
Never a dull moment, eh?
Not bad. Ow! Why are you doing that? Jerk. Look at all those buffs my party has. Come on. Just a little bit further.
Come after me, and that's what you get.
If only you didn't charge off on your own.
Okay, next targets. First, the AoE. Target the medic. Step 2, target the skirmisher. Step 3, target the scout. Oh. Whoops! Well, I hit the wrong button. Cat's out of the bag now.
You got the blood pumping at least.
Uh-oh.
So, we're meeting Gondor outside Watchtower number 1.
Yes, we are.
Right. It should be back along the route we took yesterday.
Gondor. Took your time, didn't ya? Wow, you sure didn't waste any. No time for chit-chat. My friends are gonna cause a distraction, and we're gonna make a run for the rest gate. It looks like quite a few people are fighting already. Good. Then they can have another brawl later. I'll take the lead, alright? Let's dance, bitches! Welcome aboard, Gondor! Alright, more guards.
But you're in our way.
Never a dull moment, eh? Harry, no love.
We got a medic. Focus the medic. We can't have you making this fight longer. Beautiful!
Too easy. Come after me,
Okay.
and that's what you get.
Next step.
If only you didn't charge off on your own.
Even more soldiers fighting. Don't worry, I'm coming to help. Focus the medic.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Go for the break.
Very attentive of you.
Get the topple. There's the days. Next target. Let's make this quick. Reversal edge. Very good. Very good. Right, next up.
I was the MVP. You're all thinking it.
You know what? That's a good suggestion. The cat's out of the bag anyway. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Beautiful! Alright, just 3 more to go.
Leave it to me.
Mio, time for our fusion. Come on. Let's go surfing!
Hear that, Noah? Let's got something a bit meatier.
Oh, it's working. It's finally working. We're gonna get out of the prison. Reinforcements? Eyes on the prize. Boot these arseholes out of the way and the west gate is in our sights. There's definitely some kind of plan here. I just don't really know what it is. Okay. There we go. They have one more weaker enemy. Good work with the gun, Noah. Good. Linking time. Get in, and surfing time.
We won. We won.
Perfect.
We won.
Okay, so I know that there's a mark to proceed that way. But there's a map to fill out. And you know I can't say no to a map. It's almost impossible at this point for me to say no to randomly filling up my map. I'm still just waiting for this all to go very, very, very wrong. So far, it hasn't really gone very, very wrong.
Sana, you're up. I'm on it. Lance?
Right here.
Beautiful. Nice work, Senna. Nice work, Lens.
Well, shit! So much for us giving you backup. What a joke! All right, all of ya, let's bust this joint.
Mom.
Aye.
Uh-oh. What do we got? Is it Alevinus or Mobius? Okay, it's multiple Levinuses.
That design! They're the castle guard! What, the Spark? I thought they were supposed to be away doing their bloody training!
Yeah,
An
no.
ambush! Gondor!
This ain't an accident. Means one of you bastards snitched.
Shania? Ooh. Yeah, that actually is a rather alarming force.
Shania? No! How could you?
You bitch! Answer her!
What is it?
It's pounding. Such foul-mouthed
Oh,
creatures.
crap.
She was right to sell you out.
Okay, In came along. That's a problem.
Wait. We've seen it before.
He's back again. She made a choice, which will result in one of the best outcomes one could have hoped for.
I don't see how.
Of course, it's quite unfavorable for your little band of heroes.
He's throwing the levs at us. Bring it. Been wanting to smash something up.
Not so fast, boy. Your luck well and truly came to an end. On the day you chose to stand against M and N.
Yep.
Noah and Mio. But how?
Those Mobius were Noah and Mio. What's going on? How's this?
Who is this guy? It's not just that he looks like me, but he's Mobius. And then there's...
We have the same face.
Shania.
Now there's the look I wanted to see. The look of a woman buried under the weight of her misguided expectations.
How could you, Shania? Why are you siding with them? You're with the city. The people here, they're your people.
My people? These pawns? People that rush towards an early grave without any consideration for the lives of others are no bloody kin of mine.
Pace of... This what you want?
Oh, you've had it easy, my friend. The great Guerniker was your granddad, and your mediocre mother, the city elder. Oh, and let's not forget your Stella Ouroboros results. Of course you would have to ask that. You never did care about what I wanted.
We're not the same at all. Sorry? You said that we were the same. But we're nothing like each other.
You sure changed your tune. I'm seeing some newfound determination. You get a little pep talk from your friends, huh?
Nobody gave me anything. It's because I'm part of the team. I'm only just starting to figure it out now. But I'm gonna change. Both me and this world.
I won't let you. I'll never let that happen.
If you stop us, everything's just going to stay the same.
It won't stay the same!
Shania!
What's so natural about the life you want? A life you only get one shot at. At any point, someone could come along and tell you, okay, that's it, time to go.
And who are you to say that life's worse?
I know more than you. It's madness wanting a world like that. The best world for us is a world that at least gives us another go.
I was worried that there would be those in the city who think that.
We might even do better next time round.
Shania, enough now.
We're made to fight, to kill each other, every single day, just hoping to see another dawn.
Either way, we're still fighting for survival, aren't we?
That's a point difficult to argue against.
Am I crazy?
Yes.
Am I saying something strange?
Yes.
Because I don't think so. I genuinely don't.
20 on the right, 20 on the left, 10 in the middle. The Mobius, too. Julia Bay? It's that way. Gondor.
What? What are you...
Head for the exfiltration point.
Noah, wait.
It's us they want to capture. I'm going to engage the Levnesses on the left-hand side. You can use that as a diversion.
Shut the hell up! We'll make the diversion!
You're too slow. Can't all make it out. However, a single unit should stand a chance.
Probably.
What are you guys gonna do?
We fight, and worst case, we surrender. Let them hear us roar. Remember?
Now, hold on!
Now's the time. Ouroboros doesn't end with us. Right, candidate?
Noah. Damn you!
You'll do great. I know it.
Poor In and M are just sitting there like, oh my god, how long is this going to take?
All right. We're breaking through. Distract them, however you can.
Very well.
Almost forgot about it.
A Gyronus, level 48. Looks like this is our only enemy at the moment. You're a fat one, aren't you? Wait for it. Yeah. So, Shania, you're terrified of your own mortality. Is that it? Well then. It certainly would be unfortunate if I were to, say, kill you, wouldn't it? Really? Okay, the Shackle Art debuffs came with me into the Interlink. That's a serious problem. Come on. Surfing time! Bam! This is only the smallest portion of their military forces, though. Yeah, I'm really glad that I'm over-leveled for this. That's one down. I believe I counted 2 more of those. Along with 50 soldiers, 2 Mobius, and maybe... what? Somewhere between 6 and 10 of the smaller Levnuses?
Now's your chance! Move it! Gondor!
Mom, we'll handle this.
Get through here and you're free. Quick!
What? Yeah, screw that! Now I'm supposed to leave you behind as well?
The Ouroboros candidates are our future.
Come now. You must move.
But why?
It's the prison food. Gone and developed a taste for it.
And the beds are actually halfway decent. It's fine. Don't you worry about us.
Oh, you brave gentleman.
Maggie. Okay. Move it! Don't look back!
Gondor!
Shania.
Shania?
This isn't over.
Yeah.
You'll see soon enough.
No, it isn't over. But I will do everything in my power to ensure that you don't live to see the end of it. Wow, okay. 2 of the big ones are down.
Thought we'd never make it. But this looks hopeful.
I wonder.
There's still a few left.
Oh, yeah. And 2 Mobius.
If
And
they're
all this
taking the
without killing.
field, I think we're in
Doubt
trouble.
we'll have such an easy time with these.
Yeah, but we helped Gondor escape.
Right. And that was priority number one.
But other people all got left behind. This not huge mess.
Oh, it
They'll be
is.
fine. Unlike us fugitives, they're useful assets. They can still surrender and be put to work again.
Still, the more that can escape, the better.
So, one last stand?
Oh, yeah!
Bring it!
Such nonsense. Your idiocy knows no bounds. What's so funny? This suits me just fine. It will make an adequate feast. Mobius will savor every one of you. Rest assured.
Talking about us like we're food. Well, sorry, mate, but we bite back!
Right. You'll be going hungry today. We fought so hard for this. We're not giving it up. Not ever! Oh, you still intend to resist? Against these odds?
Yeah.
You think you can defeat me? We will. For us to move forward, we must. Very well. I will demonstrate beyond all doubt. There is no possible future for you in this world.
Let me handle this.
You want to? That's a surprise.
I need to show them. Make them realize just how powerless they truly are. Just as we were once persuaded.
Who are they? All right. Do as you will.
Thank you, N.
Alright. Then do what you can. I look forward to seeing what you can bring to this fight.
My other self.
Okay. Why the tears?
I need to know.
Go on.
Why? Why do you look exactly like we do? Who are you people?
Well now. If you can defeat us in combat, you'll see for yourselves. The truth. Why it is we stoke the flames of war.
I don't know that I can bear to hurt her.
I can. She's Mobius.
We have to win. Even if she does look like Mio.
So then.
Gloves off.
This is Mobius. We fight to kill. That's the way it goes.
Well then, let us fight.
Hello, M.
I won't hold back.
Bring on the Mobius music!
More where that came from!
Rip from the back. Here, have a grenade. And nope, not a break. Very well. Whoops. Alright. Keep it up. Crap. Why? What are you doing? You're like barely fighting at all. Come on, time for surfing. Really? You're fighting the ones that have... that are invincible? Oh! Hey! What the hell just happened? Okay, I thought I was going crazy, but it really seemed like she was just able to force my control to change to a different character? Unless something really weird I'm not picking up on is going on here. You have some strange abilities, ma'am. There's a break. There's a topple. Alright, we didn't get out of daze. But there is another break. I'm gonna have to pay closer attention to here. So she's using Eclipse Soul. Wait. I don't... You're just standing there. Okay? I sincerely do not have the slightest clue what you just did. But, you know what? Fine. You want to screw with me? I'll screw right back. Tyon, please introduce Im to what it means to fight against me. I am willing to bet she will not find it to be a pleasant experience. Lons, go ahead, and then we'll finish it up with Senna to go for the topple. Excellent. Let's see how well you go against my full Ouroboros powers. Ah, it turns out, not well. You are probably not going to survive this chain attack. Alright. Reactivated. Ouroboros back on the scene. Yeah, why not? Start off with whoever. We're just gonna go back to our healer dance anyway. Alright, time for days. Well, Evil Mio, I have some bad news for you. You're about to get your ass handed to you. Not bad. It's fitting to finish you off with Noah and Neo, isn't it? I feel like if I kill her, though, it's really going to upset him. And I don't know if I want to do that.
No! Wait, what are you attacking me for? Why would you...
She was disrupting my control. That is what she was doing.
What are you doing?
What do you... Huh?
You just took a swipe at Tyon! The snuff were you thinking?
I went for Tyon.
Mio!
That's why I lost control.
Stop this!
She's
Mio!
using a possession technique. That's really concerning.
What? I don't understand.
Face your enemy and take her down!
This is her power.
Congratulations. You figured it out quickly.
Of course. In every fight we've had, you've always used some special power against us.
Exactly. I have the power to override your pitiful consciousness. She's using us like bloody puppets! So that's her game. Once I've taken over your mind, you are absolutely helpless. A blind passenger.
Guys, seriously, stop giving her the opportunity to do that to us. It definitely seems to be time limited, though. You take off her head. See if that does it.
Well, aren't you putting up a strong front? What are you doing? It's futile. Stop it, Senna! Did I? I was hoping you would have figured it out by now. But I'm afraid simply closing your eyes is not enough to escape my power.
Just had another brilliant idea.
Oh?
The whole time you're hijacking our bodies, you ain't moving.
Yep.
Which means we've just got to go after you instead.
Yuli! What the...
Huh? No, it wasn't me! Too bad. I was over here.
What?
Sorry, Tyon. I need you to stop now.
No, it's me.
Tyon!
I lied.
Guys, seriously, she can only control one of you at a time, and that's enough to attack one person. Go for pure offense and strike at M's body.
Gotta be. She's got Mimi! Come. Cut her down.
What?
It's an easy win. You need only take her life. You see the irony? Funny how you've slain so many to extend your own short lifespans. Yet your friends' lives now chain you down, dulling your blade's edges. You can't do it, can you? Pathetic.
I noticed that you
And
also
your death will be
never
slow and
took
painful.
control of the no
Your dear
pawn.
friend here shall slice you to pieces until you perish.
Riku and Minano, go after M. Come on! Somebody strike at M's body!
We don't know when she'll take over, or whose body she'll hijack.
So everyone attack
By the
her
time we detect her attack, it's
at
already...
once.
Detect. That's it! Detection!
Tyon, what are you...
The Mobius. Is you!
What?
Sorry, Noah.
Tyon. What?
Our attacks. They seem to affect her real body as well.
Ooh.
Is she controlling me?
Indeed. But now I know her secret. Listen up. My Mondo will mark the target for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. The only option right now is for us to attack. Trust me, I can guarantee that it will deal damage to her.
As you wish.
I hear you. Uni!
Yeah?
You're Uni, right?
Better believe it. Can't you tell by my smile?
Good then. We'll need you to heal us up after we take damage. Stay strong.
Yeah, I got ya. Healing's on me.
Let's go!
Alright, round 2!
You still have hope. Let me extinguish that for you.
We will never lose hope!
You'll be lucky if I even give you the opportunity to pull your little trick. Alright, we got a topple. Keep going. Alright. Tyon. Target acquired. Take him down. Alright. An interesting technique you use. But it's not going to be enough to beat me. Senna, can you get the topple? Fine. Then I'll do it without the topple. Tyon? Start us strong. Let's see. Senna, go for the topple. That's one round. Tyon's back up. Let's cut through those defenses. Excellent. Lands, take us to the days. Let's see you try to use your little tricks of witch when you're not even able to stand on your feet. You are clever, I must admit. But unfortunately for you, we are extremely powerful. Let's see here. You know what? I think going for a Noah and Mio finish is thematically appropriate. Go on, Noah, start us out. And Tyon? Very nice. Get her, Mio! And now it's time to play. You're not gonna survive this, Im. We're too strong for you. Also, I'm not sure how much In really cares, considering that apparently he's just been sitting back there this whole time and not intervening. Tyon, take us over the edge. $884% damage boost. You're dead, Im. Finish it, Noah. Use the surfboard of death. Gotcha.
Anne.
That's enough. Get back.
As you say. Now it's Noah we're dealing with.
That's not me!
I know that. Just saying.
You know, this is getting ridiculous. I don't get any of this nonsense!
Em's only stepping back. She could still use her powers. Just keep an eye on how the Mundo act.
Yeah, will do.
A Mobius with my face. Is it something to do with how Mobius and Ouroboros have fought over the ages? Need to stay focused. One little mistake, and it's over.
Okay. A pleasure to meet you, Im.
Powerless you are, but I will show you. It feels so overwhelming. You won't get away.
Hey, you still take damage like the rest of them. So, what do you bring to this party? Well, you still get break on ya. Are you really just going to sit there and not do much? Seems like a strange strategy. But, hey, whatever. Ow! Why is he not auto-attacking? Okay. Well, if you want to screw with us, then I guess we'll just have to screw with you right back. Have you met the surfboard? Yeah, it really doesn't matter if you hit us. We are kind of invincible in this form. Well, you had your shot in. Now I get to get in my attack. Let's start with an attack up for everybody. Tyon, start us off as usual. Yeah, it lands. Take us closer to the edge. And Cinna, deliver the topple. That's one down. Round 2. Let's decrease the enemy's physical defense. Tyon, start us up. And Neo, take us over the top. Excellent.
I just thought of a great idea.
And Cinna, you will be teaming up with Lons today. First, we deliver the days. Then, we have Noah deliver the damage. And then we have Tyon deliver the pain. Absolutely beautiful. And time for the Big Bang Implosion. You know what? Let's not waste our time. And by let's not waste our time, what I really mean is, I am going to hurt you as much as I possibly can. I do not expect that you will be able to survive my next attack. Alright, Cinna. Show how awesome you are on this team. And that's overkill. Lons, finish it up. And that's the battle. What you gonna do about it, In? Whoa!
Oh, come on! Yuri!
Impressive. Wow! You are surprisingly strong. Ooh, that's a cool move.
Did it work?
I doubt it.
Can't be. Not a scratch.
Wow. He's so ridiculously casual with his movements.
After all that, he has even had to transform. That's insane!
Ouroboros and Mobius both manifest outwards from their core. So long as the core is intact, you can slice off as many limbs as you like. They will keep growing back.
I have noticed
Yet,
that.
at the cost of vast energy consumption. Of course, this cuts down the time you can stay in that form. You're at your limit.
Wow.
Our power. There's really nothing we can do to beat him.
I mean, I beat him just fine.
Everybody's hopes and dreams. They die here. Your hope is a fool's hope. And I will end your dreams. Now! No! Power is for those who face reality. And I, having witnessed countless realities, reside in a world beyond your ken. Reality, you say?
Mio! Mio! You okay? Mio!
I'll live. Mimi. Lance.
There's a lot of Agnian guards watching this,
Can I
and they're
ask for some
probably
help here?
very confused.
Yeah, no problem. This is the time, huh? For us to really shine.
Yeah. Right.
Let's go.
Fire and spark! Quit it with the bleeping!
Guys, you really don't want to push this.
Cancel the interlink! You're at your limit!
Oh, believer!
We knew that from the start!
Got you now.
Oh! That was their plan.
Lance!
Sorry.
This sort of stuff. It's about all I'm good for, really.
What are you talking about? What are you going to...
Senna!
Mimi, remember what you said? You always told me to never stop being myself.
I finally get it. What you meant by that. This is me.
So don't give up yet.
This might actually be a
Some
meaningful
extra time.
strategy.
Use it.
Stop this! I don't want any of your time! Just come back, Senna!
We're too close. Take us out of here!
Okay!
What are they?
Oh god, no.
Thank you. Mimi?
Oh god.
Oh, too bad. You were so close.
Oh. I was really worried there. I'll bet that tactic would have probably worked, too.
X. What are you doing?
Hey, I just saved your life. Could I get just a little gratitude here?
Zed's orders.
Pretty much.
Zed, huh?
That Mobius.
X. The interlink. So this is her doing.
Lance!
Senna!
I still genuinely
Are you
don't know
okay?
how the hell we're gonna get out of
Fuck's
this
sake.
situation.
Senna.
Sorry, Mimi. I couldn't pull it off.
It's okay. Forget about that.
Well now, I apologize for that little disturbance. It won't happen again. You'll notice your powers have now been fully sealed. Give it up. Your chances of victory are nil.
I mean, given what we've seen, that does seem to be the case.
What? My blade! It's gone!
What? How? Impossible. Never heard of a blade failing.
Ah! Anton!
Piece of sh...
Ah, it seems you were hoping they would escape. Sadly, things didn't quite pan out your way, did they?
Because you cut
What
him
is
down!
wrong with you?
Sorry, Noah. Guess we were dead weight after all.
Did I not tell you? There's no hope. Now witness the result.
M, if you're going to intervene, now's the time to do it.
A sideshow.
What?
I've just thought of the most wonderful little amusement.
What the hell? Why did you stop? Agnes Castle. Why are we in Agnes Castle? They put all of us in one cell except for Mio. Why?
I see some relations have changed.
Yeah, that's not really important right now, Noah. I'm worried about Mio, too. We just need to calm down a bit. Get a grip, yeah? Nothing achieved through panic and haste, Noah. Time to cool head down. The game will only let me RP walk. I'm considering our possible means of escape. At the current juncture, no option looks as though it has an especially high probability of success, though. Yeah, I kinda feel the same. Spock. How did it wind up like this? Mimi. It doesn't feel right without her here. Manana would like Mio to sample cuisine of Manana one more time. What? This has not answered my questions. I've gathered a few important pieces of information. Whoever Evil Noah is, they have been around a very long time. So I can surmise that Evil Mio is probably much the same. They seem to be the ones truly in charge of everything that goes on. Aside from that, I genuinely still don't understand what is happening, or why.
Box! It's just a metal grate! Why can't I break it?
Call it, Noah! They've stripped us of our powers. There's no way for us to break it. Just give it a rest.
How can I give it a rest? We have to get through! We have to get Mio out!
Surprisingly well behaved. I half expected you to have blown a hole in the wall by this point. Or what? Have you resigned yourself wholly to your plight? Knowing the extent of my power, did you come to gloat? Where's Mio? The girl, you'll find, is in the cell beside you. Huh? Call out her name, why don't you? Your voice at least should reach. Oh, I see. You still cling to a sliver of hope. You recall, I wanted to stage a little sideshow. You expecting applause? It's the homecoming. Huh? I'm glad you catch on quick. With the eclipse...
What?
1 month from now, the girl will meet her long-awaited end. Why don't we honor it at the castle? Make it a day to remember. Well, does that not please you? What a magnificent sideshow it will be! Oh yes. I almost forgot to tell you something. You are now aware of the cycle of rebirth, yes? There is an exception. Those whose flame is snuffed out during a homecoming will not return.
Really?
You monster!
Why is that?
So weak. Amusingly so. Right now, all of you put together don't have the strength of a single soldier. Not even these flimsy iron bars yield to your efforts. Try all you like, but you cannot escape. No amount of toil will help you there. You feel the anguish, crippling despair. That is the hubris of fools who cling blindly to their hopes, only to find them dashed on the rocks. Of dreamers crushed under the sheer weight of reality. Of abject failures.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
You have access to textiles and to rigid surfaces. You are easily capable of bending
Every
iron.
bone in my body! If that's what it takes!
Just stop, please.
Mio! Are you okay?
Don't worry about me. I'm totally fine. I've made my peace. Even if I can never leave here, I'm content. I'll live on in others. Knowing that is enough for me. Please, don't worry.
Mio.
The most likely scenario I can imagine is that M comes to help us. Or renders aid in some fashion.
Hey, why do you think it is that they look like Noah and Mia?
Like I know. Why aren't you asking me?
I would assume it's because there was a base
When we kicked the
population when the
bucket,
entire cycle
We're reborn
started.
in those cradles, right? Maybe it's somehow connected to that.
You think they're the same people? Is that even possible?
Strange. Regardless, why would they do this?
That's what I still don't get.
What possible purpose could all this serve? It's almost like they're toying with us just for kicks.
You know, they've all been like that. When they took away lives, it was like they were enjoying it.
That's really true?
Huh?
Hmm?
Oh.
Huh?
Huh? It seemed natural to laugh when happy. And yet, N had sadness in eyes, it seemed. Like Sparky did. He's Mobius, our sworn enemy.
We really are hopeless. Can't believe we're stuck in here behind these snuffing bars.
It wouldn't be much of a prison if they didn't perform that function. Come on.
Was there even any point in all this? And everything we've done?
Of course there was.
Huh?
At least, we gave them hope.
There's also the possibility that if Gondor makes it back to the
First,
city...
Even when Guernica said he was 6 times older, it didn't click. The past 10 years
They
was
might be
pure
able to help.
greed, I thought. But now, I'm scraping for whatever I can get.
Preparing a rescue party, are you?
What are you doing?
Huh? Oh, the bitch queen herself.
Where do you think you're going?
Where do you think I'm going?
You know I can't allow this.
Excuse me?
That's a direct order. Don't be stupid.
Whatever. Up yours.
Look, the castle is on maximum alert now. Are you in that much of a hurry to get back behind bars? This ain't like the time we ambushed Kevez, when we had the element of surprise.
After all they did for me, I can't just leave them. We don't have time for this.
And I'm telling you, it's suicide. Noah entrusted everything to us. Hope, the future. Get that through your skull.
Whoa. Someone from Mobius is going to turn. But who will it be, and to what end?
Staring at my own palms, I feel the warmth of your hand. I thought I'd be forever by your side, protecting you, assuming that's what you wanted to. I had no clue that we had nothing between us. Perhaps I was so scared to know the truth. Now that you're gone, and yet your love is still embracing me, I'm at a loss. I need you with me. It's like I'm drowning.
God, look at his hands.
But you always appear as if you guide my way. I thought I could do it all. I had my confidence, but now I'm left alone with no one by my I knew my faults, but I pretended I didn't know. I fear I'm not the kind of
Shania.
man you know.
What are you doing here?
I see you
Got a little update for you.
This will be good.
The day your friend departs this world. What did you call it? Homecoming? That's the day I've decided to have myself killed too.
Shania, your iris.
Yep. This right here is proof that I've joined their ranks. And your little friend will vanish from this world forever. But I will be born once again. Just the way I should be. That's just the reaction I was hoping for. Ah, it's beautiful. I hope I can make that face too when I meet my enemies on the battlefield.
Piss off, eyesore.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll be gone soon. Pretty much as soon as your friend will.
It was so obvious, looking back. I knew that something was off about her. I knew deep down. I didn't want to believe that we were the same.
You're not the same.
Is that Mimi?
I was watching you, trying so hard. You've saved us so many times, never giving up. You helped us get here. Sometimes you can be really hard on yourself. I think
Is Shania
that's why
saying
you've
she's
always been
joining
so
with
hungry,
Mobius somehow?
always striving for more.
Or simply that she's going to get herself trapped into the
Come
cycle
now.
of death and rebirth
I know you've touched so
that
many lives.
all the soldiers are living?
I think we've all seen that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I see it now. I'm sorry.
Come on. You really need to stop saying that you're sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. Don't give up. Because time is still on our side.
That is brutal, making us slowly watch
So then,
Mio's time slip away.
tomorrow.
Do you think an off-seer can ever reach others? You know, I thought our lives were like our music. Always in our hands, under our control. I wasn't facing the truth. Even if I could reach people, I wouldn't be able to save them. I should have known that. It's unbearable. Seeing
Yeah.
life slip away from you.
I should not have made the commitment to finish all of Chapter 5
Even
on
though
this
they're right
episode.
there. What am I even doing?
It's dark out, huh? No moon.
Huh?
But the starlight is so nice and warm.
Mio.
Hey, when the two of us first met, you asked me if I wanted to survive.
Yeah?
I replied, I didn't mind either way.
Yeah.
I'll correct that. Now I want to live. To live and learn a whole lot more. Noah, there's so much for us to see.
Finally. You called me by my name.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess I felt that if I did, my heart would downright break. Because I'd be admitting the truth.
Mio.
But you know, these feelings that grew within me, they're thanks to you. That's why you're not allowed to say it's been for nothing. You've enriched my life, Noah. That's clear now.
Mio.
You know, I don't want this to be it. If I were given the chance, if this road I've walked were to keep on going, I'd like to spend that time with my Noah.
Ouch. Damn you, game. You are tugging at my heartstrings. May you die miserable and afraid, Shania.
My queen!
Your Majesty!
Queen Nia! Queen Nia! Queen Nia!
Trace our ancestry back 1,000 years, and you will find an Offseer carrying out the first homecoming. Now, in Agnes, no fewer than 999 lives have returned themselves to me. It is an auspicious day. I believe such is your view. Yet, for me, it is a day that brings heartache. I wish nothing more than the safe return of all life born of me. Such is my eternal hope. To come home is to
Quite
find
the elaborate
comfort.
production.
It is but a
Fancy
single tear
another
drop
puppet on
from
display.
the stream.
Assuming Monica's intel was true.
And yet,
It's all been so
the
pointless.
grief in my heart
Fighting for that
subside.
thing.
Today,
She's a phony, that's what she is. Even if it's her in the flesh up there, I'll rip her off her high horse.
yes, for she is the 1,000th
You think
soul to welcome
they're
her
gonna
home
execute
from
us too after this?
Most likely.
Guess so.
You hear it? Do you
So it's
hear?
back into the cycle.
Now echoes a voice.
Back into the same old crap
She was
again.
born of me, and now returns.
Wish we could have gone a little further.
Same here.
Listen well, lest we
The
forget
key's in Gondol's
who
hands
she
now.
once was.
I think we've done enough.
She whose life expires
Yeah,
with the
we've
hour
passed the
of
torch. Now, it's up to the city.
Shut up!
Engraved
Keep it quiet.
into your heart. As she now returns to me. Ad perpetuum rei memoriam.
Noah, giving up? Now, of all time?
I don't want to give up. But we're trapped here. Our blades. I hope at least she can go in peace.
Of course Noah trapped. Noah still not tried to draw Lucky 7.
Huh?
Remember? Back when Riku give wisdom? When need of true power, sword will appear.
Yeah. I remember.
Today is day of need. Even at edge, facing sheer drop, must never give up.
Riku.
Who would have thought the pep talk we needed would come from a no poem?
Mimi!
Mio! Mio! Mio!
Please don't. I don't want Mio to die.
Pick it up.
Oh, you.
You're an Offseer.
unbelievable asshole.
So send her. What's wrong? Go on, send her. Isn't that your role? Isn't she your Mio?
Oh, God.
It's been fun, Noah.
Mio.
Oh, God. I will make you suffer greatly. Oh my God! My dear viewers, this game has just taken me off a cliff I was not prepared to go off.